Hi, and welcome to Yahoo Personal Finance. I'm Daniela Dewan, and joining me today is Financial Spectrum's Brenton Tong to talk about salary sacrificing. Brenton, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Salary sacrificing, how does it work?
Well, typically when people refer to salary sacrifice, then they're talking about putting more money into their superannuation.
Right.
There are other things you can salary sacrifice. So you can salary sacrifice a laptop, a mobile phone, some education. But typically, most of the time, people are talking about putting more money into their superannuation.
Okay.
Now, by salary sacrificing, what you're doing is you're putting more money in pre-tax. So normally when you get your pay slip, it'll tell you how much you've earned, how much the ATO's taken off, and then how much you're actually getting at the end. So when you salary sacrifice, you've actually got the opportunity of getting your money to do something before the ATO's taken their slice out of it.
Okay, and how do you figure out when you should start doing it? Is it something that you should think about when you are closer to retirement, or is it one of these strategies you need to start doing now?
Well, everyone's in a different set of circumstances, so it's really hard to say you should start at a particular age.
Yeah.
Most people do tend to think about it as they are getting closer to retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's because it seems like a good idea. Sometimes it's what everyone else is actually doing or talking about. Sometimes it's an act of desperation because you realise that you've potentially run out of time. The best time to start really is when you can afford to do it.
Okay.
The problem with starting a little bit earlier is it is a very long-term strategy. So the expectation is you're not going to be able to pull your money out until potentially age 60 or even later.
Right.
So typically if you're a younger person, look at salary sacrifice. You really have to know that you're building up something for your future.
Okay. Is it something that you can start and then stop?
You can start and stop at any time.
Okay.
The people who govern that are typically the payroll departments of who you work for.
Right.
So some organisations will let you make changes on a monthly cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Some organisations only let you make one change per year. So the best place to actually check is with your payroll department to see what flexibility they'll actually give you for making changes.
Great. And you can change the amount as well, can't you?
You can change the amount, you can stop it, you can start it, you can do anything you want. The main thing is to keep below the concessional limits, and that will avoid you paying any penalties.
Nice. How do you figure out how much to put away there?
Well, it comes down to your budget really, what you can afford and what you're hoping to achieve.
Right.
So salary sacrificing, because it can be very, very, very tax effective, sometimes you want to put in that little bit of extra effort because you do get those extra benefits. But really it comes down to your personal budget.
Okay.
So if you've got a mortgage to pay, if you've got school fees to pay for the kids, if you've got credit cards you're paying off, everyone has a different set of commitments, and salary sacrificing is really just another form of saving. It's just a lot more tax effective. So you just do your budget and work out what's available to you, and then that's an amount that you can look at putting in.
Right. And are there any extra considerations here for couples?
For couples, quite some time ago, there were a lot more considerations for couples because you were allowed to have a certain amount of money in superannuation. These days, however, there are no limits.
Right.
Now, that is subject to change. We all know the government's pretty good at changing their mind.
Yep.
However, at the moment, the main considerations for couples really, again, just comes down to budgetary. The main thing to look out for is because it is a tax-effective way of saving money, then you really should look at how much each person in that couple is paying in tax and focus on who's going to get the greatest benefit from a taxation point of view.
Okay, great. So it's just about looking at the numbers, seeing who's earning the most?
Typically, yeah.
Okay, and salary sacrificing more out of their account?
Correct.
Okay, great. Some great tips there from Brenton. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Yahoo Personal Finance.